So one day I wanted to recreate how I made my giant rubber band ball by putting a bunch of rubber bands around a bunch of random stuff. I got a basketball, glue, a piñata, and another watermelon. I started trying to bust the piñata with bands, but it failed. So I moved on to the big bottle of glue, just wrapping tons of bands around the glue until it would explode. Yeah, it looked pretty crazy. Then I moved on to the basketball, which began to get deformed. So I decided to throw it in the cul-de-sac to see if it would explode. And after multiple throws, nothing. And we still had one final thing in attempts of making another tiny rubber band ball. After a while, the bottom of the watermelon began to crack until eventually it just exploded. It exploded perfectly onto the chair, leaving behind this tiny little rubber band ball. Let me know what I should do with it. It's Rubber Band Ball Part 100. It's crazy to think 2 years ago this ball started from a watermelon and now it's literally almost 1,700 pounds. And for Part 100 I ordered a very pricey 100 pounds of rubber bands. This is the most amount of bands we've ever placed in one sitting, so I'm not looking forward to it. And if you've never seen one of these, we literally just loop all the bands because they're too small to wrap around the ball. We loop them into strands like this, and after a very long time, 3 hours to be exact, the pile disappeared, leaving us with these long strands that we then just wrap around the ball. And just like that, here's another 100 pounds being added on to the rubber band ball. Even though this ball is massive, we're still a long way from the world record. Give this video a like and I'll keep going. So one day someone commented saying I should run over the eggs on the purple mattress to see if that would crush them. So now I gotta try it. My brother pulled the truck up and then I did a quick fall test to see how that would do. None of the eggs broke until I let them roll off. But now it was time to see if they could survive the truck. The tire went over the eggs cleanly and we couldn't see anything yet until he pulled off, and yeah. Comment any other ideas. So one day I wanted to fill an entire hamster ball up with Diet Coke and Mentos, but first I wanted to do some Mentos rocket. The first one shot like a rocket and the next one just went straight up. The hamster ball took about an hour to fill, and after that it looked insane. I got out the Diet Coke syrup and this ore, then opened up the hamster ball like this and started trying to pour the box in. It was really heavy so we struggled, but eventually got it all mixed up. Then I climbed on inside, got aired up, and swam around. It was pretty crazy looking in there. Here's me drinking it. It's pretty watered down, then going underwater, coming back up and taking some Mentos and dropping them in. They did nothing. Then we got this insane looking shot, and the full YouTube video is linked down below. So one day it was part 2 of making a working cardboard boat with a real motor. We flex sealed and great stuffed the entire cardboard boat, and the next day it looked ready to float. My friends and I loaded it up and took it out to the pond where we would test it out. The motor was spinning, we put it in the water, and I was off after a little push from this oar. The boat was holding up amazingly well, and the engine was pushing me surprisingly really fast. I couldn't believe it. I'd made the first ever cardboard boat with an engine. Then this RC boat zoomed by me and I conned the boat back to shore. So one day, after trying and failing to completely fill this inflatable dome up with water, I said we would try again and fix everything that went wrong in a part 2 if the video got enough likes. So that's what we're gonna do. This time we'll be working on completely level ground using way more flex tape. My first task inside the dome was making sure everything was completely sealed off and ready for the water. My friend got this super powerful water gun and tried to shoot me. I just continued on doing my normal dome things, and then I saw my dog. I couldn't even pet her. She was so far. But I just stayed in the dome, hour on end, waiting for the water to fill up. I also patched this leak, and my brother got me Sonic because I was hungry. A corn dog never tasted so good. And then I heard the ice cream man. My friends got me ice cream. The guy said,
"Subscribe to Dylan Ayres."
I got a bomb pop. I broke it, but it was delicious. Meanwhile, I'd been in there for 3 hours and the water was actually expanding the dome instead of going up. The sun was coming down and it was about to rain, so we had to halt the water. So I stopped this leak with my tongue like this, did a cannonball, and tried to ride the waves on this whale. But time was up. I unzipped the dome and tried to ride out on my whale. This happened. So one day I wanted to get inside this giant inflatable dome and fill it completely up with water. I got inside with my gear, let it air up, and then began filling it up with water. I also taped up the seams so no water would get out, and then I just let it fill. But things started to go sideways. Literally, the dome was going sideways. We eventually got it kind of stable, and it looked like this cool oasis. The dome moved even closer to the woods, but it looked like it was staying stable. So now all I had to do was stay there and let the water fill up. I eventually got bored, started swimming around, goofing off, and then I discovered water was getting out of these holes. I felt defeated, but stay tuned because if this video gets enough likes, we're gonna try again on the concrete with even more tape. So one day I decided I was gonna beat the world record for blowing the largest bubble out of bubble gum. Here was my first attempt. And my brother's. It was pretty challenging to make my bubble any bigger. They kept on reaching the same size and then popping, so I threw some more gum in my mouth. After that fail, I had this behemoth. That popped. And another pop. Then this one got stuck in my hair. But I hadn't lost hope. I had one more awesome bubble, threw the rest of the gum in my mouth, and then gave up. And sugar crashed. So one day, after seeing all these videos of people blowing bubbles with Jolly Ranchers, I had to try it out for myself. I got a bunch of Jolly Ranchers, put them all on this plate, and stuck it in the microwave for like 40 seconds. I waited until it was done and they were like sizzling. I used this straw from my water bottle, spun it around and tried to blow, but I only got this little bubble, so I tried again. I put them back in the microwave for a little bit less time this time until it looked really good, so I tried again. And it was actually pretty insane. The bubbles just went everywhere. I wanted to keep on trying. I also wanted to taste it, which I did. It was pretty good. I melted some more and did one final blow. So yeah, this actually works and was a lot of fun. So this is Sean Does Magic. He's the most famous magician on TikTok. And today he's gonna teach me a magic trick. But first, he had me pick a card. He then took the card and just started stretching it out until it looked like this. Yeah, he's a pro. But me, not so much. He began trying to coach me through the basics of magic. I had him pick a card and said, "Is this your card?" I'm holding the card. So yeah, you could say I wasn't doing very well. But Sean kept pushing through until eventually I got it. And I did my first ever magic trick. Let's go. Thank you, Sean.
Wanna play volleyball? I'll beat y'all. Big word. What are you talking about? Who big word? Oopsie. Gotta get the ball. Thank you. Dwayne. I mean Dwayne. Okay, watch it. Oh, I'm ready. Yeah. Wow.
You and your TikTok videos, bro.
What about them?
So one day I climbed inside this giant water balloon to fill it up and get all the way inside. It was a tough start getting all the way inside the balloon, but once I got my waist around it, I just started letting the water pour in. I was pretty bored just sitting in this balloon full of water, waiting for it to fill all the way up, and after a while longer, before I could even get in the balloon, this happened. Sadly, the balloon popped, but at least we have all these cool slow-mo cams. Comment any other video ideas you want me to try and I might do it.